better. So certainly this bill will move forward.
They're supposed to have a vote on it by the end of next week. I believe it has to be out of committee by April 3rd. So one way or the other,
So we should know fairly soon.
Yeah. I'm going to try to be there when the committee votes, so I'm going to keep an eye out to see when it's coming up for the vote.
Right. But I think it's probably a pretty good bet that it will get out of committee, and that
right,
and that if there's a problem,
this is getting out of the Judiciary Committee.
That's right.
There's still the possibility that there are other committees that may request to review it.
That's correct. We really don't know how that process is, but all of a sudden it's kind of like a little magic act they do, and all of a sudden it has to go to this committee or it's going directly to the House.
Right. I remember looking at the bill that was presented before the legislature last year, and you can actually go to the state government website,
sure,
and you can pull up the bill and you can see how people voted on it at each stage and where it went to at each stage.
Yes, and we did.
And the committee, and we did. And we're watching.
Yeah. Oh, well, we are watching.
If you're if you're a legislator in Connecticut, we are watching.
That's right.
Yeah, and in fact, we can talk. We have, in a matter of a few weeks, the 15th of April, we have a state senator, Andrew Maynard, is going to be on, and we can ask him how that magic works. So that'll be cool. But it's good. So it's almost certainly it will come out of committee, and the problem in the past has been that it just didn't get voted on by the House. Is that right?
Right.
Never gets to the floor to get a vote.
Right. It got passed in the Senate by almost unanimously. There was like 6 votes against it out of 36.
Yeah.
And if you go and look for that bill on the website, I believe it's 1044.
1044.
And you can see all the committees that went through who voted for it. And we actually, if you count up all the people who voted in favor of it, we already know that 80 legislators have voted for the bill in favor of it. So.
Right. The thing is getting a lot of support, and it has in the past.
And it has in the past.
And yet it doesn't quite make it.
It doesn't quite make it. Right.
Yeah, which is too bad.
But, well, we have a new Speaker of the House, and maybe he will push it along as opposed to last year,
who
wasn't really keen on the bill.
Well, and I was kind of intrigued looking up the bill from last year, that apparently one of the, and I guess this makes a lot of sense, especially in the climate this year, one of the things that they had specifically called out is the cost to implement the bill. What's the cost to the taxpayer to implement this legislation? And of course, the bill that's been proposed for this is a very minimal cost because you're just changing paperwork.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
But
Right. That's one of the things every bill has to go through. They have to go to the.
It's just not something I had thought of.
Yeah.
The state website's very good, very thorough.
Yes.
Yeah, which is cool.
That was another homework assignment. I had to go trace a bill through with all the committees and everything, what the reports were.
That's good. So you should have lots of knowledge in this area, so we can have you on frequently to explain all this stuff, which will be really good. Anyway, so this is moving forward, and we will see what happens. Certainly, we're not the only state where this kind of thing's happening. There's a lot of this stuff popping up. In fact, I've got some information on Massachusetts and Vermont. I think you've got
New Hampshire. And when we should say Rhode Island's already passed this legislation.
That was in 2000, I believe it is?
In 2000 or 2001, right. So Rhode Island already has this protection, and it hasn't fallen off the coastline into the ocean.
Right.
And Vermont has it. I believe it passed in 2005. And Vermont was 2007, and Maine was 2005, I think it was.
Which is very cool. That the surrounding states are, New England is going to be a very gender-friendly place, I think.
New England's a lot more progressive than the Puritan origins.
Yeah. This is great. I'm glad I live here.
It's an interesting place to be at an interesting time.
But I did see some. The thing I have on Vermont is not about transgender. It's about gay marriage, in fact. But that was an interesting thing. They are probably going to change their. Basically, it's sort of a wording change, but they have a civil union now, and they are. It looks like they are moving forward to change that to legalizing marriage, which is. A very good thing to do. this equal but different thing doesn't quite work. So they're going towards the legalizing gay marriage, which is very good
Yeah.
for them.
I think we have a caller.
We have a caller. Let me see if this works. Good evening, nlcTrans. You're on the air.
Hello, this is Susan from How's Your News? You're talking about New England. I want to know what you think about Tom Brady, hunk or junk?
Tom Brady?
He's a hunk on my level. Hunk
Well,
or junk?
yes, hunk. I'll agree with that.
Yeah, well,
I don't know anything about, I don't know anything about
Football.
football, but I do.
I'm talking about just looks-wise.
Oh, God, yes. Definitely a hunk.
Yeah. Figured I'd call because you're talking about New England and New England Patriots, Tom Brady.
There you go.
Yes. I do like the Patriots.
Yes, me too.
Okay.
Hometown team for anyone on our side of the
Absolutely.
state.
Go Patriots. Thank you. Well, that was interesting. Yes. Hunk. My vote on that, yes. Anyway, now I'm all flustered. This isn't fair. Thank you. That was a great call. Anyway, Massachusetts, they have apparently a bill, House Bill 1722. I'm not completely familiar with that, but I think that's similar to our bill.
Yes.
And I got this piece. I actually got this from Tambria. Thank you, Tambria. And there was a group up there called the Coalition for Marriage and Family, which is opposing this, of course. Sort of like our
Family
FIC.
Institute.
Well, they also have mass resistance up there too.
And
Yeah, that's a fun group.
and
I try not to talk
was,
about them.
It was interesting because they were opposing this this bill, and their argument is, and this is an argument I've heard before, the bathroom thing. They're saying now that, if you pass this bill, our women and children will be molested in the ladies' rooms by men dressed as women, and it's like, we all know that statistically this has never happened, and
Because the lack of this legal protections is what's keeping predators from dressing in women's clothing and going into the bathrooms today.
Right. So it's a crazy argument, and it's interesting that the two organizations in Massachusetts came out. I got this from a publication called Bay Windows, which is a GLBT newspaper. But the Jane Doe organization, which is
domestic violence and sexual.
it's a domestic violence group, has come out and said that was ridiculous. They support the bill. And also the Massachusetts chapter of NOW, which is the
National Organization for Women.
National Organization for Women, has also basically said that they are also supporting the bill and saying that this whole argument, this bathroom argument, is ridiculous.
Right.
Well, of course it is, because if there was any credence to it, then we ought to have some kind of evidence today of homosexual predators going into the bathrooms they're allowed to use now and molesting people.
Yeah. It's just not happening.
Right. And in Connecticut, the Connecticut Sexual Assault Crisis Service contacts, which is like the Jane Doe in Massachusetts, have issued also a statement saying that they're behind this bill and it will not cause any problems with bathrooms in Connecticut.
In reality, it will, if anything, reduce problems, because now you don't have transgendered people using